Alright. You guys are all wondering how I did this shit. How did you do it? I'm making a new landing pad. So, I got a chunk of carpet, right? Just go down to some construction site where they're putting in carpet and say, I need a piece that is 5 by 5. Really simple, 5 by 5. Scrap piece, you know? So then, you get yourself a couple of pieces of MDO. I can't remember what the name is. It's wafer board, right? 1/2 inch. Then you get yourself 3 little hinges, right? Little hinge there, little hinge there, little hinge. God, I can't do it. I can't do this fucking reverse shit. There's another hinge there. And where the hinges are, take your grinder with a sanding disc and kind of put a bevel on it so that the hinge sits in on the wood but flat. If you don't, it'll be raised up a little bit. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this out. Okay, see my lines? Yeah, got lines. And then at each corner, I'm gonna cut out right there. I'm just gonna go that way and that way so that I can take this and fold it over, staple it to the wood, and then cut it right down the middle, okay? So that you can fold it in half and make it more portable. And then I'll show you how I do the painting on the other side. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, just get it done. All right, now that you get that cut out, it's gonna look kind of like that. That's the end. Then, you see, right on the line, you got those little angle things. I thought it needed a square taken out. Actually, it needs a little bit of a 45. So that as you fold it over the edge of the plywood, it doesn't stack on top of itself, and you want it somewhat at the same level. So we're gonna cut those and, do that. That's what we're gonna do. And you see, so you gotta compensate for the thickness of the wood. So this is 1/2 inch, so about a 1/2 inch line. And actually I just rolled it up and you can see right where the mark was for the top of the wood. And then what you do is you'll fold this over and then you'll fold that side over and they'll line up here and they'll be all one level. But you have to compensate for the thickness of the wood. Because you notice this 45 is not right on there. If it were right on there, then you'd have this little strip of nothingness coming along there. Sometimes I'm smart. There, you can really see. Yeah, I started off with that mark. That wasn't enough. So by the time I actually marked it, it was out here. So that is this side of the wood. That's where you start your 45, and you cut these there, and then when you fold it over, they'll meet up. And like everything we do, we gotta frickin' fudge everything. We're just a bunch of cheaters. The scale guys are cheaters. So in order to get that out there, that little 1/2 inch space, so that as it folds over and then these two will line up on a 45, you gotta stick this thing out here, eyeball it, and make your mark, and then cut it. Yeah, cheaters. And when you screw in your hinges in all these spots, the screws are probably gonna stick out the other side, so be careful that you don't stab your freaking finger. Then, if you're really cool, you have one of these things. If you don't know what this is a hammer tacker. And what it is, it's got staples in it, and you hammer it. It sends a staple in it. So now we can bend, and it helps to put your weight on here. We're gonna bend this over like this. Get it as tight as you can. And then you take that hammer tacker and you tack the shit out of it. It helps to have staples in it. I ain't got no staples in it. Such a boner at times. There. Magic. of film. It's full. So I'm using 3/8 of an inch staples in here. I would probably use half because you're getting that thickness into this 1/2 inch plywood. So if you have 1/2 inch, it's not going to poke through. But that's... And you just staple the shit out of it. And I don't know what's best. Coming from the outside in. There we go. Okay. There's the first layer. Now the second layer is going to come over, and if I did my math right, which I didn't, they come together here. And even in my best attempt of getting it right, it still didn't come together. There's a little gap here. But I don't really care because this is the underside. All right. Now we're gonna get all this. And more than likely, I should have cut the middle where it's gonna fold before I did all this, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna start it. And there is the two pieces where it will fold up and make it portable. But we're gonna do this. I'm also gonna cut out, because my hinge is here, and you can't really see it, but my hinge is here. So I don't want to cover up the hinge. Good enough. This must be a government job. Do not hit your finger with this. Goes without saying, but I've seen stupider people do stupid things. Because two things. One, you're going to fucking smash the shit out of it. Two, you're going to send a fucking staple through it, and it's going to be stuck here, and you're going to have some asshole fucking come over and tell you, hey, you're not supposed to do that. There you go. Now we'll do the other side. And this is the coolest thing, because you pull this out, you take staples, you put them in there, you put 2 stacks in, send them down, put this back in here, just like that. Put the little safety latch on there. And now, come on. Now the world is your frickin' nail. Just like that. Oh, everything. You can fucking staple it all. It is so much fun. And if you're doing this outside, like I am, hopefully you have a nice walkway that you can scoot this over and put it on top of, so you have something solid, not the squishy grass. Okay? Let's see how close we're. Nope, not even close. Well, kind of close. They're not stacked on top of one another. That's good. All right, so now we're going down to cut this in half. What's nice is the seam is already there. You just gotta find it with your blade and then open it up. Now, little flappy dappy things, you're gonna wanna staple all this all the way around this edge too, so that when you close it up, when you fly from it, it doesn't flip up and do weird shit when you're flying. So we're gonna nail this bitch back down. Butt chop. Oh, running out of staples again. So you'd have to keep looking at my ass. Okay, 4x4. Now, 2x2. Well, 2x4, not 2x2. We'll put some big old yellow stripe on this, and this is enough to make sure that your helicopter doesn't do anything weird, get any resonance or anything like that. This is actually a little bit softer, different type of pile than I used on my other small pad. And my big 6-footer, I had a 6-foot one of these. That came off the top of the truck going up to Palooza last year. Nowhere did we find it. But that one's a little bit big and heavy. But there we go. Got it full valve. Then you come out and you go fly. What you do, stick a screw in the middle, right? Take your tape measure, and it's got a, see that little hole right there? That's perfect for a screw. Hook that on there in the middle, and we're at 24 inches on here. So you take your pen and you just lightly scribe in a outside line for 24 inches, and then you lay down your H and then you spray paint it, right? Yeah, we're gonna do a 2-inch line, so 2 inches all the way around, right? Yeah. And I found out, put your pen on the trailing edge as you're going around. That way it doesn't constantly catch, right? There we go. Oh, nice. Sun right in my eye. Yeah. But there you go. The line. We'll do a couple of H lines on here and call it good. And then we're gonna spray paint it, and we're gonna do everything to get the rest of it done. And here we go. Just like that. Big old H to land on. Nice. I've been wanting a new one for a while because you can see the old one. Old one's got some turbine hot spots. I'm blaming Rob on that one. Like, you know, just for good measure. It has served its purpose well. It's just time for a new one, and one that is perfectly square. This one isn't perfectly square. So my OCD kicked in when I found out, and I'm like, yep, we're going to get a new one. So there you go. So that's how that's how you make a landing pad. But if you guys are out and doing something, this will teach you precise landing. It really helps. You see me struggle with it still to this day. Struggling to land nose in perfectly on there, but what it really does is it takes away or it doesn't take away, but it reduces the risk of resonance from a hard surface, the ground basically. So this will take that up. So anyway, that was just a quick little thing I did this afternoon because I had to take a break from making shitty landing gear, and I got out and I built something. And I just noticed that this is a different color. I used yellow on the other one, and this is a Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Ultra cover, and it is actually gloss golden sunset. So it's not, it's more like a safety yellow, like they normally put that on. The other one I had was yellow. So there we go. And one final touch. Yep. Just decided to spray paint flat black on the bottom. Even though nobody's going to see it, it's going to protect it from the water that's on the ground just on the ground. So that'll hoping that'll fucking help and do it, because my OCD kicked in and said I gotta make it one color.